sometimes you gotta wonder who's writing these articles and if they're fans at all. Luke Hamill. I think they meant Mark Skywalker. Hey guys, Final Death Star here. Is Anthony Daniels siding with the Fandom Menace on its critique of the new films under the helm of Disney? It would sort of appear that that might be the case. And this is coming from an article in express.com.uk. And he's promoting his new book, I Am C-3PO, and he was giving his opinion on the new films. And it sounds like it sort of goes in line with what a lot of us have been saying all along. So let's go through this article. He doesn't full-fledged pledge allegiance to the Fandom Menace, but the comments do certainly indicate that he does see our side of our point of view. So let's go through here. And again, this is coming from express.co.uk, and it's Star Wars 9. C-3PO Anthony Daniels reveals his disappointment with the new films. Star Wars 9 Rise of Skywalker, C-3PO legend Anthony Daniels tells Express Online he understands the backlash and has a message for fans ahead of Episode 9. So Anthony Daniels, C-3PO, right? His whole career has pretty much revolved around Star Wars. And, look, he's said some things about Kenny Baker, who played R2-D2 recently as well, in his new book. And they weren't exactly flattering. And it's brought up some criticism towards him, and I totally understand that. But it is Anthony Daniels, and I will give the guy a good amount of respect because of what he created. You gotta respect C-3PO and what he was able to do with that character. Having said that, yeah, he did say some things that were a little surprising, and look, we don't know the relationship. We don't know how well or they did or did not get along, but I do respect the guy for pretty much devoting the majority of his life, his career in life, to Star Wars, keeping it alive. He's done voiceovers. He's lent his voice to the animated Star Wars. So, give him credit where credit's due. There has been a huge disturbance in the Force. Not since the dodgy days of a certain Gungan has the fandom been so divided or angry. Huge numbers protested the divisive plotlines and ending of The Last Jedi. Major stars like, it says here, Luke Hamill. Wow. Sometimes you gotta wonder who's writing these articles and if they're fans at all. Luke Hamill. I think they meant Mark Skywalker. Are popularly believed to be equally unhappy. Express Online sat down with Anthony Daniels to chat about his new book, I Am C-3PO. We had to ask him about the backlash and what he thinks of Last Jedi. The actor says, well, yes, I do understand why the fans are unhappy. It speaks to a devotion that they care so much that they mind if someone messes with it. I understand people being critical of the films. So let's stop right there. He speaks to the devotion that they care so much. That would really stands in stark contrast to the other side of the argument, the pro-Disney who attacked the Fandom Menace for just hating everything and wanting to tear it down, yet we continually say, no, it's because we love it so much. It's because we care so much about it. That's why it gets us so upset when it's not being treated fairly and deserving of the title Star Wars. And here we have C-3PO himself, Anthony Daniels, saying it speaks to a devotion that they care so much about it that they mind if someone messes it. So Anthony Daniels gets it. Just saying. He has remained fairly silent until now, while stars like Mark Hamill, they got it right that time, have dropped loaded comments online and in interviews. Daniel says, I know it has been particularly difficult for him, talking about Mark Hamill, lately because the new movies haven't given him much to do. I certainly recognize that, and I can relate to it. They haven't given him too much to do either. But see that he's bringing up Mark Hamill and agreeing with him. Yeah, the movies haven't given him that much to do, so clearly he's upset. And they also treated his character... well, we're not going to get into all that now, are we? In these new movies, I have felt like a table decoration. This is what Anthony Daniels feels like, a table decoration in the new Star Wars movies, and I can see why, because he's hardly been in any of them. You know, they've shoved C-3PO and R2 aside. The characters that really drove the first 6 movies, we were seeing these movies through their eyes. George originally had the idea of these two kind of fools, that we would see it through their eyes. He took this from Kurosawa's Hidden Fortress movie and adapted it into droids that kind of happened to get placed inside of this crazy saga and story, and we see it from their point of view. So the 6 movies are kind of seen from the point of view of the droids, except for the new ones, which have not been because they pushed them aside. This is just my personal disappointment. I get paid whether or not he does anything, but it would be nice for him to have a purpose. Yeah, see, I agree. Like, C-3PO has had no purpose in these movies so far. He's just kind of shoehorned in there just to say, hey, there's C-3PO, remember him? That's it. There's been nothing else for this poor guy to do. The actor also confesses to not being too thrilled with his time working on the divisive prequel trilogy. It was certainly a bit weird in the prequels, but I accepted the storylines were very different. I was glad to be there, although they weren't that much fun to do. So he didn't love the prequels, but he at least respected them, respected George's vision, and was happy to be there and to be a part of them. This, obviously, he's saying this in contrast to the new movies, where he is not happy to be there, it would seem. There have been major hints the Golden Droid will finally play a larger role in The Rise of Skywalker. And the red-eyed trailer scene hints that he may perhaps even sacrifice himself or turn evil. Daniels obviously cannot give much away, but he teases C-3PO has a major arc. I am very satisfied with what I have to do in the movie, and I'm very satisfied with everything I know about the movie. So, he's promoting the movie. He's got to be positive about it. He can't, just like we saw Mark Hamill, he was very critical of The Last Jedi before it came out, and then of course right before it came out, as they were doing the push in the media, he had to kind of backpedal and seem more satisfied with how the movie went, and then after it was released he went back to being not satisfied. I mean, he said, that's not my Luke. That wasn't my Luke, that was Jake Skywalker. So what do you think? I think that Anthony Daniels has been pretty unsatisfied with how this trilogy has gone. I think they finally gave him a slightly bigger part, so he's happy he has something to do. I would guess that he's probably not happy with the way the character has gone, and his lack of a story arc, even turning him, whatever they do in this new movie, they turn him evil, whatever it is. I'm willing to bet he's not too happy about that. It seems like from his comments that would be the case. Of course, he has to promote the movie, so he's got to give it a nice little positive spin at the end, say, but look, everything's going to come to a conclusion in this movie, so go see it. But really deep down, I think he's crying and screaming inside of his golden metal body. All right, well, let me know what you think about this comment in the comments below here. I'd love to hear your opinions of your overall view of Anthony Daniels and C-3PO. Despite his look, we all have flaws, despite some of his flaws, I respect him because he's C-3PO. He created that character and has carried that legacy with him. He never, he was always positive towards Star Wars, always a driving force in continuing to push Star Wars in the public eye. So, I respect him for that. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe so you guys can see all the content I put out regarding Star Wars and everything in general. And thanks for watching this video, and thanks for subscribing. And don't forget to give it a thumbs up too, and hit those bells so every time I have a new video out, and when we go live. Check out author Stephen Walton's channel. It's The Fourth Wave is the show we do. We do it on Fridays, and it's a bunch of great nerds just talking Star Wars and pop culture in general. So if you're into that kind of stuff, check us out on Fridays. It's 4 o'clock, and that's Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We have a good time, so we'd love to have you join in the chat room and interact with us. All right, guys, till next time, lock the doors and hope they don't have blasters.